Hello, my name is Shanna Daly and I'm a principal consultant at COSIV, and this is just a little something that blew my mind last week. We ran a MISP training workshop at AusCert Conference 2024, and in all honesty, you can stand up a test MISP instance in less than 10 minutes, and I'm going to take you through how to do that in this video. So I'm starting on Windows. You can run this with any operating system you like. Multipass is operating system, so you can run this on Windows, Linux, Mac OS. I have just run winget to install Multipass here. Looking to see that there is no other existing Multipass instances, and I will create my Multipass instance with one CPU, memory of 4 gigs, 40 gigs of disk space, and it's going to be called MISP. And this is going to set up a Ubuntu 22.04 server virtual image just running off my computer. So in one line, well, two, after installing Multipass, I've been able to set myself up a little Linux box. I did speed this up on the video, so it will take a little bit longer than this, but you'll see that this video is going to be well less than 10 minutes. So once the MISP server, which we've called MISP, has been stood up, then we're going to drop into a console or terminal on that particular Ubuntu instance. So this is currently starting MISP. Okay, we've launched. We can list, we see that our MISP instance is running, we see our IP address and the kind of Ubuntu that is installed, 2404, sorry. So now I have dropped into a shell in that MISP instance. I am creating an environment variable of the IP address, which we will use in a couple of seconds to configure our MISP Docker instance. So this makes life a little bit more easy. You don't need to remember. So we've created that variable. We're now going to use snap to install Docker. Again, I've sped up this video a little bit here just because you don't need to sit and watch the install while I'm talking. So once we have loaded Docker, you can do your obvious apt-get updates and upgrades at this point, but I've just skipped that as well, just for the demonstration purposes. But normally I would have done that as soon as this particular server had started. So now we're downloading the Docker snap from the stable channel. Once we have Docker installed, we can then test our Docker install with the Docker Hello World. So now that the Docker is installed, I'll do a test for Hello World, and we'll see that it's going to find that image and then display a little text that says hello from Docker, and it shows you that your installation is working. I'm now going to clone the MISP Docker official repo locally. Then I'm going to cd into the directory, take a look at what's in there, and we'll see that there is a template.env. So we're going to copy that to .env, and that'll be our environment variables for our MISP instance. We want to copy in our base URL as well using the MyIP that we created earlier. So we can actually echo in base URL, HTTPS, and the IP address of our instance, or MyIP, as we set it. So once that is done, we'll just check our environment variables. You will see that everything is disabled by default. So once we start this Docker instance, we're going to get a lot of errors, and that's normal. If you were going to be running it, this Docker instance in any kind of production, you'd want to make sure that all of this was updated first. However, for a test instance, I'm just leaving all of this as default. I'm going to do the sudo docker compose up -d. So that will bring up all of the containers, and -d means that they will be detached. So I will drop back into my MISP server shell. So once all of the containers are downloaded and are up and running, again, this is sped up a little bit, but it doesn't take too long, maybe just a couple of minutes. So we wait for all of the containers to be up. Once they're all running, 7 of 7, we have that there. We can now grab our IP address, which I'd forgotten already, and jump over to a browser and drop that in https:// our IP address, and log into our brand new MISP instance with the default login credentials. So it really is quite as simple as that to get up and running with a test instance of MISP. So when you screw it up, you can start all over again. Hopefully this is helpful, and Cosiv are running MISP training online, so we'd love to see you there.